Ladies and gentlemen of NASA, this is Charles Xavier. Help is on the way.
We're doing space missions now. Cool.
We get the astronauts, we bring them home. Go.
Heat signature's rising fast.
We gotta get out of here.
Where's Jean?
Where is she? Jean!
She should be dead.
Did you hear what the kids are calling you? Phoenix.
Hello, Jean.
Who are you?
The better question is, who are you?
Something's happening to me. When I lose control, bad things happen. But it feels good.
That power destroyed everything it ever came into contact with. Until you. The X-Men fear you. And what they fear,
We seek to destroy.
She'll kill us all.
The girl dies.
She's still our friend. She's not Jean anymore.
Are you threatening me?
That's right.
That would be a bad idea.
Hi everyone, it's Charlie. We got brand new X-Men Dark Phoenix trailer footage to break down. Kevin Feige has officially explained what his plan for the X-Men are during Marvel Phase 4, so I'll explain that. And we're only a week away from Avengers Endgame hitting theaters, so it is all blowing up right now, to say nothing of Sophie Turner, obviously Dark Phoenix, in Game of Thrones Season 8, which is also happening right now. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. It's only going to get crazier with even more cool stuff coming out as we head into the summer. And because of Endgame, there's a new round of that IMAX ticket giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave an X-Men or Avengers comment on the video. So what I'll do is I'll talk about the brand new footage in this trailer first, then I'll talk about what Kevin Feige has said about Marvel Phase 4 and what's going to be different about the X-Men and those plans. The new trailer is just a little more polished. They've finished more of the special effects. Like if you look at the older trailers, the actual effects of the Phoenix Force itself look a little bit different. So that's gotten better as we're getting closer to the release. They give you more parts of the scenes that add context to what's going on in outer space and how she gets the Phoenix Force, and more of that really big train action scene where Magneto comes to try and kill Jean Grey. The X-Men are headed into outer space in the Blackbird to help NASA, who has encountered the Phoenix Force, which is destroying their space shuttle without them realizing what's going on. The backstory that Jessica Chastain's alien, quote-unquote, character gives us during the trailer, they still haven't confirmed who she's playing, but she's definitely an alien from outer space trying to co-opt the Phoenix Force, whether she's a Skrull, just shapeshifted into human form, or if she's a member of the Shi'ar Empire a la Dark Phoenix from the comics. They have another funny moment trying to recruit Quicksilver to get his help, like he shrugs just like he did in the last movie. Okay, I guess this sounds cool. I'll help out. I'll be in this movie. Nightcrawler teleports Jean Grey over to the space shuttle and they start porting astronauts back while Jean Grey tries to hold the shuttle together with her telekinesis. Even without the Phoenix Force, she's already an Omega level mutant. She's always been afraid of her powers. The earlier trailers give you a little more of that backstory where she accidentally kills her parents in that car accident because she starts hearing voices in her head and it starts freaking her out. The black dust that's floating around in here before Nightcrawler ports in is the Phoenix Force itself. They just don't understand what's going on. It just seems like some space anomaly that's eating the ship alive. As things go south real fast, Nightcrawler doesn't have time to go back and get Jean Grey before the shuttle explodes. Like they're just measuring some sort of explosion getting ready to happen, but it's really just the Phoenix Force manifesting and entering her body. I'm not a huge fan of Ty Sheridan's version of Cyclops. They're really trying to sell you on the Cyclops-Jean Grey relationship. They had a little bit of that during X-Men Apocalypse, but I don't think the movies have had enough time to establish that. I think Hugh Jackman and James Marsden had better chemistry with Fonka's version of Jean Grey than Ty Sheridan has with Sophie Turner, so it was a little easier to swallow some of those emotional turns, and they haven't done any kind of love triangle in these newer movies because the Wolverine has still been the Hugh Jackman version, so obviously they didn't want to do old man Logan romance love triangle with a really young version of Jean Grey. You get a little bit more of Jennifer Lawrence's Mystique character with Professor X just freaking out about what happened to Jean Grey. She should be dead. The other trailers have also sort of spelled out their history together in dealing with the Jean Grey character. Like, Mystique is meant to be sort of their den mother. They kind of tried to set that up during X-Men Apocalypse, but she's kind of wary of what's going on with Jean Grey because she was there, she saw the Phoenix Force during the last movie. So the way they play it in this movie is that even before she gets the Phoenix Force, they're all just a little bit afraid of her, but then they have that moment with Cyclops. You know what the children are calling you? Phoenix. I don't know how I feel about that twist because the Phoenix Force is actually a conscious entity. It actually has a will of its own. It's seeking someone out until it finds Jean Grey. Like the way Jessica Chastain's character explains, it's killed everyone it's come into contact with until you. The actual Phoenix Force is the sister of the Shi'ar cosmic gods, like a legit god. So it does have other names that it goes by, but I just feel like this is them kind of shoehorning that in because they're not doing crazy cosmic stuff, even though technically Jessica Chastain is an alien from outer space. I think part of the reason for that is because they're doing it as a smaller, more self-contained film within the X-Men line of continuity, and in the comics, it's this big, huge Infinity War level event. Like, Kevin Feige could turn around in another 10 years and do another Dark Phoenix saga and do it as big as they're doing Endgame right now. But I think we're all kind of expecting Secret Wars to be like their next really huge 22 film ending saga. I love Magneto's reaction to Jean Grey here. Like, she comes to Genosha, and if it wasn't clear, this is Genosha where Magneto has been since the events of the last film. Him seeing Jean Grey and the danger she poses is what brings him back into society. Like, we need to deal with this. It's hard to tell where this standoff happens, where it seems like they're killing off Jennifer Lawrence's Mystique character. Like, she steps up, "We're friends, Jean Grey," and then she just pushes her and you don't see her again for the rest of the trailer. Pretty good sign that it's R.I.P. Mystique, which is a nice callback to X-Men The Last Stand, where Jean Grey kills Professor X inside her childhood home. So I think that's what they're going for with this scene here. You get a little bit more of what looks like a subway scene with Magneto taking a subway car and just crashing it right through what seems like the X-Mansion. It's hard to tell what building this is, but it seems like it's either the X-Mansion or some other really big institutional building. The funny thing about all these train car scenes, like the subway scene and then the bigger train scene that happens later in the film, is that it reminds you of the scene from the first X-Men film where Magneto rips the train car apart coming for Rogue.
You must be Wolverine. That remarkable metal doesn't run through your entire body, does it?
There's probably going to be a lot more callbacks to the other X-Men films because this is the final Fox X-Men film. I mean, we have New Mutants, and technically those are X-Men characters, but really this is the last legit Fox X-Men film. He tries to enter like a boss, she slaps him around, rips his helmet right off, uses it against him, and pushes him through the window with her telekinesis. This scene here where she's gone full-blown Phoenix and they want to make it seem like she's getting ready to kill Cyclops, obviously meant to be a big twist during the film. The effects look really cool, but like I said, a lot of this depends on how much you believe in this Cyclops-Jean Grey relationship and how well they sell it during the film. So they don't have a whole lot of time to get you on board with that. This last scene of Professor X just getting a full taste of the Phoenix Force while he's trying to enter Jean Grey's mind while she's getting the Phoenix Force in outer space. This is all happening during the NASA mission earlier in the trailer. But I do like that title screen in outer space. They actually give you a little bit of an outline of a Phoenix in space while the Dark Phoenix title pops up. Moving into Marvel Phase 4, you may have heard Kevin Feige talk a little bit about what his plans are for the X-Men characters. Now that the merger is completed, he can do whatever he wants to with them. We have Endgame coming next week, and Marvel Phase 4 will start with Spider-Man Far From Home this summer. What he said is that he had his Marvel Phase 4 plan all mapped out way before they ever thought about buying Fox. So the X-Men are not a big part of his Marvel Phase 4 plans. He made some offhanded remarks about not seeing X-Men in MCU films for a good long while. So that's why you're probably hearing a lot of news outlets saying that we're not going to see X-Men in big Marvel films during Marvel Phase 4. That's not entirely true, but it's actually pretty close. Like, we have the Black Widow movie and the Eternals movie coming next year. Probably not going to see any X-Men during those. He said that Deadpool is going to be its own thing and its own level of continuity. He's not going to mess with Ryan Reynolds, so they'll just continue making those movies, doing whatever they want. But now that Disney has the Fox characters, Ryan Reynolds does get access to MCU characters if they want to use them in his film. The other really big difference in Marvel Phase 4 than what's come before is that Kevin Feige said that the Avengers TV shows that they're making for the Disney Plus streaming service, like Falcon, Winter Soldier, the Thor Loki show, the WandaVision show, that's the name of the Scarlet Witch Vision TV show, WandaVision. those are actually going to drive a lot of what happens with the continuity during Phase 4. So the TV shows will finally influence what happens in future movies. So the Avengers TV shows will be a big part of their Marvel Phase 4 plan, not just the movies, whereas traditionally when you talk about Marvel Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3, you're just talking about MCU movies. For those of you asking when the Disney Plus streaming service is rolling out in your area around the world, this is the tentative release schedule. So some of the shows won't premiere till like next year or for another 2 years, so I wouldn't worry too much about getting some of this stuff, but if there's a show that premieres before it enters your area, you might be stuck with a VPN option if you want to watch it with everyone else. But if it wasn't clear, that means if we're not going to be seeing a lot of X-Men stuff till tail end Marvel Phase 4, early Phase 5, that pretty much confirms Kevin Feige is going to recast all those characters, including the Wolverine character. So I think we're all on board with the idea that once they eventually do get around to doing Avengers Secret Wars with a big multiverse alternate reality story, that's when you bring back the legacy characters like Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, Fassbender's Magneto, James McAvoy's Professor X for cameos, but by that time, the main versions of those characters in our central MCU universe will be played by different actors. So everybody let me know in the comments below, what do you want them to start with when they get around to their first MCU X-Men or Fantastic Four film? Do you want to see an X-Men film first? Do you want to see Fantastic Four first? What's going to happen next is that I'm allowed to post my non-spoilery review of Avengers Endgame by Tuesday afternoon. So that's when that's going to happen. Just look out for it. As long as you have alerts enabled for my channel, you'll see the video when I post it. My Endgame Easter eggs, post-credit scenes, spoilery review won't post till after the movie hits theaters at the end of next week. But all you gotta do is just make it to next week. We're almost there. Congratulations, Famine X, you're the giveaway winner from my last big Marvel video. Please email me on the About page of my channel so I can get your details. Click here for that brand new Avengers Endgame trailer, and click here for my Game of Thrones Season 8 Episode 2 trailer video. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.